Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show. Meet the trusted experts who will give you straight answers and will help guide you on the path of later life care. Now, here's your host, founder, caregiver, and CEO, Suzanne Newman.
And welcome back, everyone, to Answers for Elders Radio Network. And I am here with Lori La Bey, founder and CEO of Alzheimer Speaks. And Lori is part of the Answers for Elders family. You can reach all of her information on her website. And there's also, if you go to alzheimerspeaks.com, as well as just go to answersforelders.com, there's a big block right there that sends you right to Alzheimer Speaks. So Lori, welcome back to the show. And I want to thank you first for the first half hour. And I'm going to start out this segment. What in your world, how would you define what specifically family caregivers need?
I think they need to be understood. I think they need to be appreciated. I think they need to be supported, and they need to not feel alone, and then to have choice, choice in that support, and a voice in how we move forward.
You know, I look at, yes, support totally. I had friends that would say to me, this, how can we help? Suzanne, I know you're undergoing it with your mom. What can I do to help? And I was so overwhelmed. I'd say, oh, I'm fine, or I would do this. And I didn't even think about it. And it was well after, probably like 3 years into caring for my mom, I had two girlfriends show up at my doorstep. And they said, we're the Joy Committee. I go, first of all, we've hired a caregiver for you to be there for your mom for the day. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to actually take you out, and we're going to bring joy to your life. And we're the Joy Committee. And you can feel free to call me anytime, do whatever you want. If you want to vent, if you want to do whatever, this is who we are. And I will tell you, Lori, that was one of the greatest gifts I'd ever been given, that these two friends actually took it upon themselves to say, what could we do for Suzanne? And I didn't even think about it at the time. I was too overwhelmed, right? Like you talked, they don't even know what they don't know. They don't know how to ask for help. And I think that's a big piece of it, isn't it?
Oh, it's massive. I had girlfriends like that too. They didn't come and take me out, but I ended up joining them for coffee every week, which I pushed away.
That.
I kept pushing away because I didn't have time. And then I met. And what was interesting, and I don't know if this happened to you when your friends came over, but when I finally did go have coffee, and my intent was to have coffee and them not ask me again because I just didn't have time for it. That was actually my intent. I found out how empty my soul was because I was so busy being busy and caring for everyone else but myself. And I got refilled, and it felt so good. It felt joyful. It felt peaceful. I felt energized. All of those things that I think we overlook so often because we're too busy being busy.
Yeah, we are. And I also think too that families just take for granted. Oh, they'll say, oh, my sister takes care of my parents. Thank you. Just saying thank you sometimes isn't enough, is it? It's about demonstration. It's about, I want to do something nice for my sister. I want to do something nice for, my mom that's taking care of my dad or something like that. I think sometimes we get too busy in our lives, or on the other side, we don't know what to do that would express that we hear you, we understand what you're dealing with. And I think that's something that there's that void in there. Is there not?
Oh, there definitely is. And, sending cards even could be a small little thing like that. For a lot of people, I would send a card every week. It would just drop it in the mail. I do like a dozen of them at a time. And then I would just kind of mark a date with a sticky pad, and I would just make sure every week. And they said, boy, it was just nice to get something in the mail, or calling somebody just to check in to say, how are you doing? And I really want to hear how you're doing.
Yes. Just somebody to listen and to understand and to know that it's okay, no matter what happens. And I think that's the thing that is important. And I think the other side of it is, when mom or dad dies or the loved one passes away, all that support network that you've been relying on all of a sudden slips away and you feel alone. Your sense of purpose has completely shattered as a caregiver, and you're trying to find a new, tread on your own. I'm sure you felt that.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, because you really are trying to figure out, who am I now?
Absolutely. And Lori and I are going to talk a lot about something very exciting in our next segment. So every single one of you, stay tuned. We're going to be right back, and you're going to learn all about the noble swan.
We at Answers for Elders thank you for listening. Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.